I saw the Black Panther movie and I thought it was okay. I thought it was alright. Hey, it's Prince of Queens, and I thought that maybe I was gonna script a video today, but then I ended up going and seeing Black Panther. So, here is my review. My review is that it was actually pretty good, and if you're on the fence about seeing it, I suggest that you do. The political implications of it are actually fine by me. I don't want to give too much away, but ultimately, the people who are talking about how this is a fictional reality where supposedly there's this super advanced civilization in Africa and it's giving young black kids the impression that there's this super advanced race in Africa of people that have this super technology based around this metal, and somehow that sends a bad message to black kids because reasons. Okay, this is the Marvel Universe. It's make-believe. This is the same universe that has Iron Man and Ant-Man. And, Thor coming in from his little Viking place. So, honestly, it really doesn't matter that Wakanda exists in the Marvel Universe. So for all you people who are going on about how this is like sending the wrong message to black kids because then they're going to think that they have technology or something, I think that that's kind of irrelevant. I mean, I don't know if you've come across the Vikings, but they're kind of annoying. So, yeah. That being said, what else did I think about this? Feminism. As it relates to feminism. There were a few silly things about... It did seem to be the case that there were all these females that were incredibly good at fighting and could beat up men just completely easily. And sure, that's kind of annoying. There was a general who was a female. She reminded me a lot of in Conan the Barbarian Part 2 when Grace Jones was in it. She was kind of Grace Jones-like. But here's the thing. She was actually really cool, the actress. I really liked the actress, and it seemed to be the case that she did a decent amount of her own stunts, because in the fight scene in the casino, they showed her with a spear going at it and beating like 2 or 3 people for probably 10 seconds straight without changing the shot, and it was cool. You rarely see that. Like, you have to watch something like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon to actually see that type of action choreography between martial artists. So this must be an actually trained woman who does martial arts, and that's really cool. I liked that that actress got an opportunity to do that in a movie, because, hey, martial arts are an art. They're cool. They're hard to learn. I like them. I like watching them. But you don't get to see them that often. You have to actively search for them on YouTube. And it's cool when they find their way into action movies and they actually get to show off a real martial artist who can really do something. Most of the fight scenes in movies are all jump cuts, or, cuts where, somebody punches somebody and then they change the shot as when the hit is about to land so that you can't tell if the person got hit. And of course they didn't actually get hit. That's the point. And it makes it way easier to shoot, but way less cool to look at. So sure, they had some women that were unrealistically strong, and that's annoying, but they at least offered... The consolation prize was that they had the woman who was a particularly good fighter, who, the actress really seemed to be. I think it's a bad message to send women that, you can just beat up a dude, because I know that there's more and more women who have gotten used to this notion that they can just be relentlessly aggressive towards men, and men will never do anything, because they pull that crap on me, Like, I get threatened by women not uncommonly on the internet because I'm good at arguing against feminism, and they threaten to punch me in the face or something. Like, if they say that if they ever run into me at a bar, they'll fucking punch me or crap like that. It's not uncommon at all. So when there's women in movies that are unrealistically strong, I think it sends a bad message to women, because here's the thing. If women think that they can just go around talking smack and maybe even fighting men, what happens when they do it to a psycho and there's nobody around to save them and he kills her or, beats the ever-loving shit out of her? That's not cool. So people need to train women, like, don't hit men, and not just because the men can't hit you back, but don't hit men because you might be alone sometime and have nobody to defend you from somebody who will hit you back. That's the biggest reason not to let women think that they're stronger than men, because they're not. Almost ever. But there are good female martial artists, and those should have good female martial artists who want to be actresses should have roles on occasion, because I want to watch it. I think it's cool. So there's that. As for social justice implications in the movie, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but there is actually sort of a social justice plot line in the movie itself, but I thought that they handled it fairly well. And without giving actual spoilers, I'll just say it like this. And this is going to be not the last thing I say about this video, but this is going to be what I'm really interested in. And if you guys want to leave a long comment, if you've seen the movie, leave this in the comments. What do you think Gazi Kotso is going to think of this movie? Because I'm pretty sure that Gazi Kotso was really happy about this movie coming out. Because, to him, everything's about colonialism and post-slavery and African people being stolen from and blah, 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 blah. And that's this sort of collective rage of Black people in the current year. And Gazi Kotso is kind of the king of that. And he, I think, was really excited about this movie coming out. He was thinking it was going to be We Was Kangs the movie. And what's funny about it is that there is a character in this movie that is kind of like a fictional, not totally flamboyantly gay version of Gazi Kotso. That's basically, he's like the fictional comic book embodiment of Gazi Kotso. And yet, this guy is not the good guy in it. And so everybody's going to be not everybody, people like Gazi Kotso are going to be really, really excited about this movie, and they're going to think, oh, it's going to be this good thing, I'm going to be so happy, I'm going to see the Black people finally being the Kangs, and, whatever. And then it turns out that it actually has a fairly socially responsible message, as far as I know. As far as I can discern. But I didn't hyper-analyze it. Like, I wasn't sitting there taking notes. I was just kind of taking it in, to be perfectly truthful. And the other thing is this. I'm one of these people that I should never be a film critic because people generally don't like the same movies as I do. When I was younger, I liked all the movies that nobody liked. And now that I'm older, I like all of the movies that my peers don't like, and often, okay, here's an example. I thought that Suicide Squad was better than Deadpool. I was way more entertained by Suicide Squad than I was by Deadpool. Now, I have never really been a fan of the Deadpool type of humor for the most part. I think it tries a little bit too hard. I think it's, seems like a 13-year-old boy trying really, really hard to be edgy. And not just in that it makes crude jokes, but it's that the jokes are oddly timed and come too often. And I thought that the plot was very predictable. I found that Girl and Colossus pretty fun. I like their characters and their addition to the plot. What was the girl's name? Megasonic Teenage Warhead or whatever, Negasonic. I liked them in the movie. But for the most part, I just found it very predictable and just like, okay, this is exactly what I thought it was going to be from the preview. Whereas Suicide Squad was like completely random and weird and hard to follow. And it reminded me a lot of the comic books, really. It was the comic books were completely unpredictable and random. You never really knew what was going to happen. And I like the way that Joker was very absurd and this weird gangster character. Like, you had never seen a Joker that was at all like that. And I thought that that was fun. Because, you know, you can't do the same Joker as Heath Ledger, obviously, because you couldn't ever do it as good. And you can't do Jack Nicholson Joker. Why not just do a totally different Joker? Now, it wasn't a great Joker overall, but it worked in the context of the movie. It worked for the Harlequin, what was her name? Margot. Anyway, it worked for her. It worked for being, you know, a co-star type Joker, and I like the way that the characters just kind of came in and out, and you didn't know what was going to happen, and it was a completely disjointed movie. I thought that that was good. So when I say that Black Panther's good, take it with a grain of salt. You might hate it. You might absolutely hate it. So, but if you're on the fence and you're thinking of maybe going and seeing a movie because you want to go see a movie, I say go for it. That's my take. Oh, and by the way, there was mostly white people at the theater, and there were no gangs of roaming black teenagers to beat up white people that were attending. So, yeah, just my experience. Maybe if you live in Compton, you might want to be careful. All right, that's it.